Okay, I want to go over this two quick warm-up problems where we're solving by using the LCD. Okay, so for this problem, we look at what's in the denominators. We don't need to factor anything. So let me just rewrite this problem. So we have 12 over an x minus 1 minus, and actually I'll change it to a plus, negative 8 over just an x equals a 2 over 1. Okay, so just realize this right here is over 1. So your LCD, looking at all the factors in the bottom, we have an x minus 1. We need an x minus 1 in all the denominators, and we need this x. Okay, it's different than this x. So we have a factor of x, and we have a factor of x minus 1. So then all we need to do is get all the denominators to have this LCD. So this one's missing the x, so I'm going to put an x in the bottom, and I'm going to multiply the top by x. This is missing the x minus 1, so I'm going to put it at the bottom and on top. And finally, this is missing both, so I need an x times x minus 1, x times x minus 1. Okay, so as we said, once all the denominators are the same, you can cross them out. So now I just have to solve a regular equation. So it looks like we're going to have a 12x. I have to distribute the negative 8. So negative 8x plus 8. So just be careful of your signs. And then on this side, it's going to become a 2x squared. I'm going to distribute this 2x. And then it's going to be a minus 2x. Okay, so we do have a quadratic equation. So I'm going to get 0 on one side. So I'm going to send all this stuff over. So this is really a 4x. So I'm going to subtract the 4x on both sides. When I do that, I'm going to end up with a 6x. So just so you understand, this right here is a 4x. I'm going to subtract 4x on both sides. Negative 2x minus 4x is a negative 6x. But then I also have to subtract this 8. Subtract 8. So I'm left with this. And what you're going to see is I can divide everything by 2. I can basically factor out of 2, but I'll just divide everything since it's an equation. I can take half of this, which is just going to be an x squared. Half of this is going to be a 3x, and then half of negative 8 is going to be a negative 4. Well, this looks like an easy factoring problem. I need an x minus 4, and I need an x plus 1. Okay, so then it appears that our answers are going to be a 4 and a negative 1. Okay, and in this case, both answers work. Okay, so make sure you understand. If it was a positive 1, I would have to throw out that answer. But since we have a positive 4 and a negative 1, both would be solutions to this equation. Okay, and then I have another problem where we have to factor the denominator. So the way you're going to do the LCD is looking at the factors. So this right here, this trinomial is easy to factor. It's going to be an r plus 8 and an r plus 1. Outers and inners agree with the 9r. Once again, I'm going to change this minus into a plus, and I'm going to change the numerator to their opposites. So this is going to be a negative 4r and a minus 20. This same factors are plus 8, r plus 1. Okay, and then this last fraction just has the r plus 1. So it should be easy to state your LCD. I need an r plus 8, and I need an r plus 1 in all the denominators. Okay, so these two I don't have to rename. I already have the LCD for both of these fractions. This last fraction here, I need to put an r plus 8 in the bottom, and I need to multiply the top by r plus 8. Good news is all these are now the same. I can wipe them out, and I'm left with a 3 minus 4r minus 20 equals r plus 8. Okay, and this is a nice, easy linear equation to solve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 4r to both sides. So it's going to end up being a 5r on this side, and I'm going to subtract the 8. So when you subtract the 8, you're going to have, what is this? This is going to be a negative 28 plus 3, which is going to be a negative 25. When we divide by 5, we're going to see that r equals negative 5. Okay? So again, the key to solving by the LCD method is looking at the denominator and make sure it can be factored. So any denominator needs to be factored. Look at the factors. And then once you have everything factored, state the LCD. Use every factor you see. Okay? So hopefully this makes sense. Make sure you're practicing. Make sure you do the problems and the big ideas, that Schoology assignment, and make sure you understand the practice exam. So this should get us ready for our test coming up. Thanks for watching. Take care.